Hello everybody and welcome to Virtual World's Real Stories. Growing up sure is a difficult thing. There are bodily changes, political changes, climate change, so it's really important to hold on to the precious memories and the things that gave you comfort when you were a kid. And for me, when I'm not railing at the world over the fact that Freddos no longer cost 10 pence a piece, one of my fondest chunks of nostalgia is Pokémon. And hopefully yours too, because that's what this video is about. So join me as we create our very own Pokédex page filled with fun facts, real-life inspirations, and make sure to stick around to the end where I attempt to experience what it's actually like to be a Pokémon.
Oh, those nights in Brixton are really starting to pay off now.
Oh, yeah. Without further ado, not to be confused with the 1979 ABBA hit Chikorita. Chikorita, you and I know. Legally, I'm not allowed to sing the rest. Not because of YouTube licensing laws, but because of the court order from the estate of Benny Anderson prohibiting me from singing the band's lyrics. Listed as number 152 in the National Pokédex, Chikorita first appeared in the Gold, Silver, Crystal series and is one of the starter Pokémon of the Johto region. But what does Chikorita look like? Well, in order to show you, I'm going to make one of these models, designed by the wonderful folks over at Paper Pokes. And whilst I'm getting on with this, let's see how Chikorita got its name. The name Chikorita can be broken down into two parts, Chikor and Ita. The Chikor part comes from the English word chicory, itself from the Middle English ciccory, from the Old French kikori, in turn from the Latin caicorium, deriving from the ancient Greek kaikorion. The dictionary defines chicory as a thick-rooted, usually blue-flowered European perennial composite herb widely grown for its roots and as a salad plant, the dried ground roasted root of which can be used to flavour or adulterate coffee. Ita is a Spanish suffix and is put at the end of feminine words to denote a younger, smaller or affectionate form. For example, perra, meaning female dog, can become perrita to show it's a puppy. Araña, meaning spider, becomes arañita for a little spider. And chiquitita is the reason I'm not allowed in Sweden anymore. And that's another court injunction for me. Kaikorion, Ita, Chikorita. Its Japanese name is Chikorita. In fact, it's the only starter evolutionary family to have the same name in English and Japanese. Makes it easy to remember it, eh? Chikorita is classified as the leaf Pokémon due to the whopping great big leaf on its head. And this is what Chikorita looks like. As you can see, quite a stout Pokémon overall, a cylindrical body with quite a large head. Not to give it a complex, but 4 very stubby little legs with a single nail on each foot, a tiny little tail at the back. Around its neck is this line of dark green buds. Its overall colour scheme is a pale green colour, just to show that it is in fact a grass type. Do you notice a pattern emerging here? Working our way up, it has no discernible nose and this little grin with these giant red eyes. And sticking out the top of its head is this massive leaf, almost the size of its entire body, probably to distract from the size of its head. And now we know what Chikorita looks like, let's take a look at the real-life inspirations that helped inspire this design. Despite looking quite small and young, a lot of Chikorita's design comes from something quite big and old, the ancient dinosaurs known as the sauropods. Being present from the late Triassic to the late Cretaceous period, sauropods are thought to be the largest animals to ever walk the Earth, and include such famous species as Massospondylus, Camarasaurus, and the Diplodocus. These behemoth beasts, the largest of which could grow up to a staggering 52 meters long, would tower over the other dinosaurs with their thick trunks and elongated necks. But all that bulk was built upon a plant-based diet, as they were all herbivores. It might have been a good thing Chikorita didn't hang out with them back then, lest that leaf on its head be mistaken for a snack. As can be seen, Chikorita has inherited its chunky chest from its forebearers, and with its stumpy legs and a low centre of gravity, it gives both a good base for stability. Unfortunately, Chikorita hasn't picked up the genes for a long neck. But hey, it's a shower, not a grower. Of course, as hinted in its name, it also draws inspirations from the humble chicory, varieties of which include endives and radicchio, and have a crisp, refreshing taste, as I'll demonstrate now. Again, that long tubular chest is shared between the Pokémon and the salad root, but remember, only one of them should be eaten. Or perhaps neither of them. And now we know some of the broader details of Chikorita, let's check into some of the finer specifics that make up the Pokémon. Grass. The lightest of the Johto starters, Chikorita weighs in at 14.1 pounds, approximately 6.4 kilos, or, as you may know it better, around 30 white chicory roots. The tallest of the Johto starters, Chikorita measures in at 2 foot 11 inches, approximately 0.9 meters, or, as you may be more familiar with, a vertical salad consisting of 6 whole chicory roots. Its stubby little foot on its stumpy little leg leaves quite a squashed oval shape, and that's how you know Chikorita's been around. And now we know all about what makes up Chikorita, let's see what it's actually like to live as one, in a segment I call Do As the Pokémon Do.
Looking through its Pokédex entries, one of the main things that I noticed is that Chikorita utilises the big leaf on its head for a variety of uses, and one of those being to measure humidity. But how does one measure humidity, you may ask? Well, by using one of these, a homemade hygrometer, and you make one like this. I've got my lab coat on because today we're about to do some science. So in order to make your own hygrometer, you need a couple of things. Some very simple mercury thermometers, an empty plastic bottle, always good to reuse and recycle, a J-cloth or some cotton wool, either will do, some tape, preferably electrical, but if you don't have it, no worries, some scissors, and some string. First off, take one of your thermometers and attach it with the electrical tape onto the bottle. Now this is used to find out humidity, and humidity is the amount of water vapour present in the air. This can change day to day or hour to hour, and each climate has its own sort of signature humidity. It's very important to have a knowledge of humidity because it can be an indication for precipitation or mist or fog, but can also affect people directly. Too high humidity means it's impossible to sweat because the water vapour on your skin won't be able to evaporate because the air is already saturated. That's why if you ever happen to find yourself in a rainforest, for example, it's very difficult to stay cool. Now we've attached one thermometer, we have to attach the other, but before we do, we need to use the J-cloth. So we just cut a strip off the J-cloth, and as I say, if you don't have this, cotton wool will also do. Just cut it in half again into just one smaller strip, until we're left with 2 little patches of J-cloth. Just having a quick look at the thermometer, it's currently 27.5 degrees Celsius in here. Probably explains why I'm sweating so much. I apologise for the shine. And now we've got the smaller parts of J-cloth, we put them over the bulb of the thermometer and tape them into place. One on the front and then one on the back. It is very important to make sure that the actual bulb is not covered, so just make sure there's no tape covering the bottom of the thermometer. Now once that's securely on and covered on both sides, we then stick it to the bottle. And if you have any J-cloth left over, it's a perfect opportunity to mop the brow. Whew. Whew. So we stick the thermometer onto the bottle, and once you've stuck both on, it looks like this. Now here's where the magic of science comes in. This is what we'll call our dry bulb. The one with the J-cloth is what we'll call our wet bulb. In order to find out the relative humidity, which is displayed as a percentage, we take a measurement of the temperature on the dry bulb, and then we put water on the J-cloth of the wet bulb. And we tie some string around the neck of the bottle, just going back to using the J-cloth. And once the string's tied on, we use it to swing the bottle through the air. And as we do, the water from the J-cloth will evaporate into the surrounding air, reducing the temperature displayed on the thermometer. After a minute or so, we take the temperature from the dry bulb, we take the temperature from the wet bulb, and once we've marked the difference, we can check out this chart, and that will indicate to us the relative humidity. Of course, I could just swing the hygrometer with my hands, but I'm doing as the Pokemon does. And Chikorita uses the leaf on its head to measure humidity, so I had better use my head. It is now on my head. I've also got this angle, just so you can be on my head as well. The wet bulb is wet. And now we're gonna swing it for a minute. We good?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Gotta get a bit of momentum. Okay. And go. Okay. 1 minute. Alrighty. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Okay, we've retied, ready to go again. Good?
Yep.
Here we go. All right, get the momentum. And here we go. Here we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, all those nights in Brixton are really starting to pay off now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
Come on.
Oh.
Ready? You're nearly halfway there.
Oh no. Oh, no. The floor's coming up to my face. Oh yeah. Okay. 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 Tell me. Ah! Are we good? Are we good? Oh my god.
Alright, nearly there. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. Right, so we've got 21 degrees there. We've got 17 degrees there. So that's a difference of 4, which means it is 66% relative humidity is what it is. I've gone through all of that just to tell you that at this particular hour, on this particular day, in this particular part of London, it's 66% humidity. You are welcome.
Ooh, this is beginning to leave quite a bitter taste in my mouth. Let's clear this away. Number 152 in the National Pokédex, Chikorita. Japanese name, Chikorita. Classified as the leaf Pokémon. A grass type, weighing in at 14.1 pounds or 6.4 kilos, standing at 2 foot 11 inches or 0.9 meters. Its footprint looks like this, and its cry sounds like this. Its design is based on the ancient order of dinosaurs known as sauropods and the crisp, bitter chicory root. Its Pokédex entry reads, its pleasantly aromatic leaves have the ability to check the humidity and temperature. In battle, Chikorita waves its leaf around to keep the foe at bay. However, a sweet fragrance also wafts from the leaf, becalming the battling Pokémon and creating a cozy, friendly atmosphere all around. And now we know Chikorita. Is there anything new that you've learned? Is there anything I've missed out? And will you be making your own hygrometer? Let me know in the comments below. But maybe just swing it with your hand instead. I've still got a headache. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Mamma mia, here I go again. Oh, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. Okay, before the lawyers come knocking on my door, please do like and subscribe and share with others. And if Benny goes easy on me, then I'll be back next week with a whole new episode on a whole new Pokemon. But for now, my friends, luck and more to you all, and catch you next time.
Looks like really hip accessory.
What, this?
Yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm just measuring humidity. What of it? It's just a thing I do.